Man, I got really country for this episode. I look like a cowboy. I'm a rhinestone cowboy. Chef Anthony Britton here, the Carolina cook, cooking the Carolinas, tasting the Carolinas, eating the Carolinas. I went fishing this morning, caught myself a nice little mudfish. Another name for a mudfish is a bowfin. Dogfish. It's a weird fish because they can survive out of water for at least 2 months. As long as they're up under some leaves or under some decaying logs, something that'll keep them moist, they can breathe air because they have a primitive lung that allows them to do so. I never cooked, caught, or ate a mudfish in my entire life. I doubt you will find a mudfish on anybody's restaurant menu. But I'm cooking that up with the leftovers from episode 35, where I cooked the crabs and, the seafood ball in the cheese sauce. So all the crab and everything got eaten. All the shrimp and everything got eaten, but there's some corn and some sausages and some clams left. So I'm gonna do that. I'm going to do that with some fettuccine, noodles, and mudfish. We're gonna turn mudfish into a delicacy today. And yes, I'm cooking outside, and it's hot, and yes, I'm sweaty. So this has got to come out tasting amazing if I'm going through all of this for that. I will be highly disappointed if it doesn't. Before we go any further, let's get into how I caught this fish. Okay, now we're back in time. Guess what, y'all? Caught myself a fish, fresh out of the swamp, from out of the mud. Let's see what she looked like. This is not big enough to attempt to fillet it or anything, so I'm gonna throw it on the grill since I'm curious of how it tastes. I'm not gonna throw it back. Yes, I'm fishing from the bridge. If you saw the size of the water moccasins in this area, you would fish from the bridge too. Yep, that right there is a mudfish. I caught this off a live bait. They eat snail, bait, bugs, things of that nature. This thing has a mouthful of little razor sharp teeth. I wouldn't want to be the one kissing this thing. A mudfish straight out of the mud. Some people don't like the way these taste, but I'm gonna give it a taste. Some things you have to experience yourself instead of going by word of mouth. All right, boys and girls, we're gonna go ahead and drop that in the bucket. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all, I'm trying to figure how this one even got on the hook. Sometimes you could just tell when a small fish is nibbling at your line. So I just let him nibble until he just got greedy. Was that a little brim or something? Or a crappie, some type of panfish. Of course, I threw that one back, y'all. He was too small to keep. Y'all won't believe this one. Look at what I caught. Michelangelo, a turtle. Now how I'm gonna get a turtle off of my hook? Well, the line popped, he got away, y'all. So now you got a turtle running around here with a hook in his mouth. He just got a free piercing. He about to be the coolest turtle in the swamp. I don't know how I was gonna get him off of my hook anyway. Got me some fettuccine noodles. All right. I'm gonna boil some water. Salt. How much salt? Yes. And oil. All right. And what that oil will do is sort of aid in the noodles not sticking together while they're boiling. All right, y'all, got this fish prepped up, ready to go. And this little apparatus right here. You can see how mushy the meat texture is by the way that the meat is protruded from the fish after I clamped down on it. Where that meat coming from right there, that's because I slid it down the sides. That way when I put the seasoning on it, it's going to get into that meat. By the way, this is a very, very slimy fish. So I had to rinse it, and rinse it several times to get that slime off of there. Now, This is the Chef Anthony seafood seasoning blend right here. We're gonna baste this fish with it. I'm confident that it'll taste good just because of how good my seasoning is on seafood. See, I wanna make sure it's saturated with all of that stuff that I put in that butter sauce. All right, and we're gonna set this over the charcoal. I was asked why such a big grill for one fish, but this charcoal is the equivalent of the amount you'd put in a small grill. And I wanted plenty of room for my rack. Just close the casket on it. See that smoke coming out of there? Where there's smoke, there's food cooking, baby. Oh, and that's smelling good. That is smelling good. Y'all, this is my first time eating mudfish in my life. My first time even cooking a mudfish. My favorite way to prepare fish is grilled. I think the myth has been broken based on the smell of this fish alone. Oh yeah, that's looking good, smelling good. Ooh-wee, look at that other side. All right, the noodles are perfectly done. I'm gonna shock them in cold water to stop that cooking process. Okay, y'all, finished results. Mudfish, grilled, with the leftover creamy seafood boil. Look at that. Take it in. Ooh, nice and crispy. I made sure to flip it and get a nice char on the top. Somewhere under this fish and seafood boil is a bed of fettuccine noodles. Let me put some light on it and show y'all how it looks under the light. All right. See how nice that is after I plated it up? How nicely done and charred this fish is? It's just something about grilling the whole fish with the head on and everything that gives it a good presentation to me. But enough of all that, let's eat. Okay, we're gonna give this here mudfish a taste. Nice and flaky. But after chewing it, it's kind of gelatinous, kind of jelly-like. It's a weird texture. This fish is not solid muscle. It's soft meat. It's like it dissolves. It's a very bland fish, just like chicken is a bland meat, and it pretty much takes on the flavor of whatever you cook it and season it with. So basically, my basting and seasoning technique saved this fish because it allowed everything to get into the meat of the fish. I don't understand this texture, though. This fish is like a alien species. It's a weird texture. So I'm getting a lot of citrus from the lemon and a lot of the goodness from my seasoning. It's a very soft meat. So it makes it edible and something that I would probably try again. Do you think you can defeat the mudfish? Yes. Foodie food! Time! Mudfish style. So basically, the people who said this fish is not edible or doesn't have any taste, it tastes bland, it's all about how you cook it. Tastes a little weird. I still can't get past this texture though, but it's okay. No one tried this but me, so y'all got to take my word for it. As you can see, it's obviously good if I'm still eating it. You know, I'm still enjoying it. So take that for what it is. You can't take everybody's word on what's good and what's not good, what's edible, what's not edible, because it all depends on your chef skills. It depends on the person that's cooking it. So word of mouth can make a dish just seem like a taboo to a lot of people who haven't tried it. Now, as y'all can clearly see, I have pretty much eaten all of this fish. The only thing that was left for the dog was bones. Now, after pretty much devouring the top half, I'm getting ready to flip it over and try that bottom half. Even the skin on this fish is very delicate. It almost dissolves as well when you cook it or when I grilled it. This fish has a lot of tiny bones in it. The other side of it, that bottom side. But y'all, that's not a bad fish at all. I don't know what people talking about when they say mudfish is terrible. If you know how to season food, you can make this fish taste like something. Because I said it's bland like chicken, but it takes on the taste of whatever you season it with. You can tell by the appearance of this fish that I've cooked it nearly to perfection. After I cooked my fish, because I didn't take any tips or pointers from anyone, I noticed several cooks and chefs online that filleted this fish, and it did not turn out well because the way the meat is set up on this fish, you do not want to try to fillet this fish. You either grill it or fry it. I would say you could probably, like, if you do fillet it, leave that top layer of skin on and then cook it like a salmon fillet. Cook it skin side down, sear the top a little bit. Not bad at all. My conclusion is it's just a delicate meat, and you have to know what you're doing when you prepare it. If you can pull cooking this fish off, then people should bring mudfish to you every time they catch one. And if they want to try it, they should come to you and let you cook it. If you can pull this off, you're one of the elite. I give myself and this fish a thumbs up. It's not the greatest fish there is. It's an acquired taste and texture.
Liketh, shareth thou the love, and subscribeth unto my channel. Thank you.